I already said good morning, so let me say it right. Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Good. Come on, how we doing today? Good. Come on, stand up real quick. There's no energy. Stand up real quick. Come on. We gotta get some momentum in this place. We got some newbies. We got some veterans. We got some people that have been here less than for how long? Who's the rookie? Who's the one that's been here the last time? Nevin. All right. So the whole thing about it being in the car business, you win the morning and you win the day. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is, you can always adjust your attitude. So I believe if you're having a challenging day, if you're having a rough day, you can always change your state of mind. If you don't, you lose. We wrote this stuff. I asked some questions earlier, but I want to start off by getting our state of mind, our frame of mind, where it needs to be, right? So repeat after me. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. That was weak. We're off tune, okay? Hill Country Honda, look, you're getting recorded. This is going to go nationwide, right? I believe in myself. I am somebody. I am a selling machine. Y'all are weak. I have a group of female salesmen that sound louder than that. Come on. I am somebody. I believe in myself. I am a selling machine. You got to participate, my friend. We got to start over. You going to participate?
He needs to bang this time.
Come on, guys. All right. We're going to do it one more time. Andrew's going to help out. Everybody can participate. Come on. I am a winner. I am a champion. I am somebody. I love myself. I believe in myself. How many of y'all believe that right there? How many of y'all believe that? For the most part, you don't love yourself, you don't believe in yourself, have a seat. Well, you know, it's funny, but how you can have a seat? The funny thing is, that's why we're having a problem selling this product right here. You know why? Because we don't believe in ourselves and we don't value ourselves the way we should. Simple as that. We've been talking about our husband the last couple of minutes here, and I can tell you at that Nissan store, let me tell you, they sell a product for $19.95 and it has a lot less. It doesn't have this, or this, and they still sell it. Why is that, Andrew?
Because it gives value to the vehicle.
It gives value to the vehicle? Confidence. Elaborate on that, Zachary. Why confidence?
You have to be confident when you present them. Because whenever, this day and age, a lot of clients, they go to the store, they don't want to see ads. That's why you don't call them ads. You call them benefits.
Benefits. Right? So at this other store, this other dealership, like I said, they have less products, and they're selling it for $19.95, and they probably sell it over 50% of the time. But this is what happens. I heard somebody say they used to be here at a Kia store. I did a training session one time. Salesman, I was spending some time with him. I was like, man, this guy had a good attitude. This guy had energy. He had enthusiasm. He was full of life. He was just there. And I'm pretty good at just profiling people and seeing what their weak spot is. And I said, man, he was challenging me. I love challenges because everybody needs to be challenged in their profession. So I said, you know what, after we finish this training with everybody in the room, let's have a one-on-one coaching session. So we were talking, and I got it. I said, that's your problem. He goes, what? I said, that's it. He goes, oh, what's it? He goes, well, I think I have a good attitude. I go, yeah, you got a good attitude. He goes, well, I train on the product. Yeah, I train on the product. Yeah, I like working here. Yeah, I like working here. You want to guess why he couldn't sell any cars?
Confidence. He didn't believe in himself.
No? What about you, my friend?
I can't guess right now. I was looking at your benefits. So
It's all right. It's all right. What do you think, ma'am? Michelle?
No confidence in the product.
He didn't believe in the product. And the reason why you're not selling this is because you're not believing in the product. Would y'all agree or disagree? If you don't believe in the product that you're selling, you're never going to sell it. This guy had all the talent, all the energy, got there early, got there late. I saw him, and I'm in these dealerships. Sometimes I'm in some dealerships 2-3 days a month, and I'm there back-to-back 3 days in a row. And I was like, he goes, well, I don't believe in it. I said, let me see your keys. So he took out his keys, and sure enough, mostly after you'll be here at this Honda dealership for a year or two, what are you going to drive? A Honda. It wasn't his make that he was selling. I said, you know, I don't know how to tell you this. I know you like it being here, but you got to, if you really don't believe in the product, you're never going to sell the product. If you don't have confidence in the product, if you don't believe in it, you're never going to sell it. And that was his issue. He goes, well, what do I do? I said, well, that's something that you're going to have to determine for yourself. I said, I don't want you to leave the dealership, but this is what you need to do. Maybe not focus so much on the new car aspect, but maybe we need to put you in the used cars because you're valuable. I go, do you believe in the used cars, some of the products? He goes, yeah. We moved him to used cars. He took off like a rocket. Because guess what they had over there on their used car lot? They had sports cars. They had stuff that he liked. So guess what? He believed in his product. And in this, you have to believe in it. You have to believe in the value of what it does for your customer. It's your customer benefit. Every time you give a feature, write this down. Feature, you give a feature of your car, then write this down. You give a benefit to the customer. It's called the feature benefit impact. You have to give a feature, then you give a benefit, then you give the impact to the customers. So what does every Honda have in this dealership right now? What does every Honda come with? What would you say, sir? Backup camera. Every Honda has a backup camera? Okay. So we got a feature of a backup camera. What's the benefit of it? You're able to see the blind spots. So as you're describing this product to the customer, you gotta have to get excited. You can't just say, well, here's a camera, here's a backup camera, and that's all it is. No, sir, Mr. Customer, let me show you the feature right here. This backup camera right here, sir, you see this little camera right here? Well, the great thing about it is, you see your newborn baby? Your baby's only a year old. Well, the good thing about it is once your baby gets older, when he's playing in the driveway, say you happen to go to the H-E-B or something, when you're backing up, it's gonna protect your child from running over your baby in the driveway. That's value to you, right? Yeah. But you got to sell the value of the product. Feature, benefit, and what was the impact? The fact that if your child's playing in the backyard, do we get in a hurry, yes or no sometimes? Do we get in the car and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, what did I run over? It happens. But you got to sell the sizzle of the product, of the benefit of the feature that you're going over. What's another feature that Honda has? Roman?
Honda specifically, just the brand?
Just in general. What does every car have nowadays? Bluetooth, right? So Bluetooth. So what's a benefit? So we got the feature of a Bluetooth. What's the benefit of Bluetooth?
Handset free.
Handset free.
You're not on the phone. I think it's a law here in San Antonio.
It's a law in San Antonio. But how many of us sell that as the benefit? Mr. and Ms. Customer, this beautiful 2018 Honda Civic. It's an amazing car. Great thing about it, it has Bluetooth. So if a customer comes in here between pretty much every car that's a 2008 or older, is it going to have Bluetooth? It's not. Or if they do have Bluetooth, it's only the dial. It doesn't have the audio part of it. It doesn't have the, you can't listen to Pandora. You can't listen to Spotify. You can't listen to that. So the good thing about it is when you get in these vehicles, you got to sell the benefit of the Bluetooth. How do you do that? Okay, great. But the benefit is it has Bluetooth, right? That's the feature. I mean, the feature has Bluetooth, but the benefit is, guess what? In the city of San Antonio, actually in the state of Texas, there's a city ordinance that if you're caught talking on your cell phone, you're going to get a ticket. The good thing about this Honda is it has equipped with Bluetooth, great quality on the Bluetooth. You're not going to lose a signal half the time. But the great thing about that too, unlike your 2008 or older vehicle, whatever it is, you can also streamline your vehicle, your music, and listen to your favorite Pandora station or your best Spotify station. You think that's a benefit to your customers? Yes. How many of us here, when you go on a test drive, are hooking up the customer's phone to your on the demo drive? Nobody?
You got somebody to do it?
No. Whose customer is it? Whose customer is it?
It's your customer.
It's your customer.
Not being Honda's customer.
Yes, but who's the sales professional? Little details like that are going to set you apart from everybody else. When we're at Enterprise Car Sales, let me tell you, we're at Enterprise. Every customer that came in, we got it didn't matter where the customer came from, what make or model was. If that car had Bluetooth, we hooked up the cell phone to the radio. Guess what? Let me ask you this, Zachary. What's a great song you have? What's a song you like that brings back a good memory?
I don't really know.
You don't know? Give me a good song, Andrew, that brings back a good memory.
Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a little lamb. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna get my cell phone and we're gonna queue up. We're gonna pair it with Andrew's phone to the car. We're gonna play Mary Had a Little Lamb. We're gonna jam out to Mary Had a Little Lamb. So what does that do for Andrew?
It excites him because he's listening to Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Exactly. But in his mind, what does it do?
It gets him visualizing
The endorphins going.
Ownership, mental ownership. Through the whole interview process, through the whole demo process, the whole thing is to build mental ownership to the customer. For me, every time I hear Party Rock, I remember we drove down to Florida, we went over there, we went to Orlando. On the way up there, we listened to that song, I can't think of it, but I think it was Party Rock, the Little Hamster song where they're dancing. And every time I hear that song, I think of that trip. So if somebody was to play that song for me, when I was buying a car, let me tell you, I'm going to associate good memories with my life. So I'm going to associate good memories, spending time with Nevin, demoing this car, and it puts them in a buying state of mind. You need to start doing that, Hill Country. Little things like that is what sets you apart. How many cars are you selling right now a month? Yes, sir. 9? I bet you if you do that, it'll give you another two deals. Write this down. Shortcuts equal short paychecks. Shortcuts equal short paychecks. When you take shortcuts, it's your money. You ain't fooling Jaime, you ain't fooling Bo down there, you ain't fooling any other manager down there. When you take shortcuts, you're only shortcutting yourself. It's affecting your wallet, your pay. Danny, let me ask you a question. What are they buying here at Hill Country Honda before they buy anything else? Well, it's a question. What are they buying here at Hill Country Honda before they buy anything else? What's your name, sir? Colin. Colin?
Yeah.
Colin. What did you say? Can you say that louder?
They're buying the salesperson.
Who agrees here with Colin?
You gotta convince them to buy it into the salesperson.
Somebody, before I started the training process, I had a little bit of interview with everybody here, and they said, well, there's a lot of B-backs in the store. Well, guess why there's a lot of B-backs? Because you, as a sales professional, didn't do a good impression convincing the customer, or they didn't see the value in you as a person. If they believe in you, if they believe in your product, and you give them that enthusiasm, that energy, they're going to buy you. Because before they buy anything in this store, before they buy the Honda, even if it's your cheap price leader, if they buy the LX, whatever it is, Honda Civic, they're buying you like Colin said. That's what it is. They're buying Michelle. They're buying Michelle's energy, Michelle's sincerity. They're buying Michelle's authenticity. But if the customer senses that you don't care about them, that you're just out there to make a sale, are they going to buy from you, yes or no? No. What do you say, Brian?
No.
No. Does that make sense? If I write anything on this board that's going to help you, that if you can meditate on this, I want you to write this down. Selling is the transfer of trust. Selling is a transfer of trust. Because if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Do you agree with that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because they got, most buyers come in, with the feeling that, the salesmen are just there to make a buck, a quick buck, instead of actually, how do you say, customer service, making them feel comfortable, making them like the car that they want,
Yes. He's right. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Victor.
Victor. Who agrees with Victor? That's what it's about. When you have look, there's some dealerships when I go in there and I train, I'm there and I'll be at the sales tower or the sales desk, whatever they call it in that particular dealership. Customer comes in here and I'm not picking on Zach, but Zach's gonna come in. Hey boss, I got this customer out there, great, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, he's being flaky. He doesn't really want to do anything. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's gonna come back later, great. Then I get Michelle involved and I talk to Michelle. Hey Michelle, go talk to this customer. Just tell him thank you for coming in. Michelle goes out there, how you doing? Welcomes them. And they buy a car. Why does that happen?
Different face, Chief.
Different face. If we have a bad attitude, can the customer sense that? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Maybe that's what it is. Half of y'all didn't want to get up and say, win the morning, win the day. You didn't want to say that, and that's what the problem is with the mindset here. You have to want it. You have to have that energy. You have to have that passion of wanting to succeed in this organization at Hill Country. Your manager, Hyman, believes in y'all enough to bring me in here to talk to y'all because he cares about you. But like Colin said, if you don't believe in yourself, if you can't sell yourself, if the customer can't see the value because they're buying you before they buy anything else, and they can't sense that they can't trust you, they're going to tell you, Danny, you know what? I'll be back. I'm going to go next door to the GMC store, see what they got over here. Or they're going to tell you, Zachary, you know, I didn't like the car. But in reality, what are they telling you? They didn't like you. It might be here. It might just be it. And I have to tell you, being a Honda store, you have a little bit more challenging because a lot of these customers, they do a lot of online shopping. There's probably one of the, a Honda customer probably spends more time online than any other customer. Maybe Honda and Toyota are kind of parallel, but I think as sales professionals, we get caught up so much in the fact that they've been online and they've seen this, they've done this. What does everybody in this room here have in common? Say it again. Say it louder, please.
They're human, they have emotions.
Everybody in here is human. It doesn't matter if you're an analytical buyer, an expressive buyer, a driver, or an amiable personality. It doesn't matter. Because everybody here has a pulse, and everybody here, regardless of how they got here, whether it was referral, internet, everybody has a heartbeat. And if they can't sense that you care about them as a customer, as a human being, if they can't sense that they can trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Does that make sense? So what's one objection you get, Danny, that you might need help with?
Probably need this as a benefit form. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but still a little bit. I mean, I believe in the product, not the problem. Sometimes it's better than getting away with the deal. Sometimes when they're straight up adamant that they don't want it. Even when they see them, they don't want it.
So Danny said something that's interesting, but I do confidence coaching. That's another part of my business. So I'm going to tell you this story. If we're walking down the street and we see an irate dog that's barking, mad dog, a German Shepherd to say, and we walk by him and he catches us off guard, can he sense if we're scared or not? He can, right? And if we respond the right way, we stay calm, he'll sense that also. So wouldn't you agree that a person, a buyer, can sense our vibration, our energy that we're giving off? Does that make sense? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe when you go in and ask for it, you don't have that confidence because let me tell you this. When you're in sales, you got to have that confidence. When you do your Foursquare, I have great news for you. You know what? You need to get that paper. Let me get a paper over here. Y'all have a paper? Y'all do everything on iPad, or y'all do it on paper when y'all go to the customer?
We do it both ways.
Both ways, right? When you get that paper, this is what you got to do. You got to be like, man, I don't know, sir. Zachary, my manager's in a great mood. Look what I got for you, sir. He's in a great mood, man. You're going to be excited. That's the way you have to approach every single deal. But if you walk back to the customer and you come back like this and you're like, man, crap, I wouldn't pay that payment on that CVR or that, man. You're already doubting. Well, go ahead and look that over, Zach. What do you think, sir? I understand. That's okay. Thank you. We laugh, right? But how many of us do that or have seen somebody do that? True or false? In 2002, they had just changed the body style on the Tahoe. Chevrolet Z71 came out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice, bulky, oversized everything. It was just a new concept, a new design that Chevrolet came out with the Tahoe. Customer came in. They wanted a black Z71 4x4, the most expensive vehicle that they had out there. And the reason I shared this story with Zach is because it happened to me when I was a rookie back 20 years ago in 2002. Customer came in. Daniel, we want to see this vehicle. We had good rapport. We were doing that. Then came the pencil time, right? I was confident. I was excited. We were laughing. We were joking. I gave the kids balloons. I gave them everything. Then I saw the payment. I was like, oh, crap. You know why? Because back in 2002, they sent me out. I'll never forget this day. They sent me out with a payment of $848 to $868. Now, granted, this was in 2002, 16 years ago, maybe longer. And I went up there and I said, here you go, sir, here, you know, but in my mind, I wouldn't pay that. Could the consumer sense that? Yes or no? They can sense that. They can sense the fact that you don't believe or you don't have confidence in what you're displaying, what you're presenting. So I said, well, I understand if the payment's too high. I understand, Mr. and Ms. Customer. Okay, Daniel, thank you so much. And they weren't mad. They were, thank you very much for coming in. And I got my paper and I told my boss, I think it was David Garza. Hey, boss, yeah, these people, I don't know. They'll be back, don't worry. So a week later, I was in service and I was there and I saw the customer said, hey, how you doing? They're great. And, oh, yeah, we came to get our vehicle serviced. I said, hey, what about and when I looked up, I saw the distance, a new license plate bracket from another Chevrolet dealership. And I was like, I go, what happened with the Tahoe? And I had already seen it. They're like, oh, Daniel, we ended up buying one already. And I said, well, what happened? You know, I was a rookie. I was a green pea. I was excited. I was like, I want to know. I want to get better. Well, it didn't really seem like he wanted to sell us that car. And right then and there, I knew what the problem was. Just because I wouldn't pay $800 for a car payment on a Tahoe doesn't mean that Zachary won't pay it. Doesn't mean the customer won't pay it. So how many of us make the decision for the customer? How many of us do that? Does that make sense? So don't be making decisions for the customer. Write this other word down. You have to assume every sale. Every single sale, you have to assume it. You have to assume every sale. Assume the sale. Because if you don't assume the sale, you're never going to sell it. You're never going to sell that product. You're never going to sell that SUV. You're never going to sell that pre-owned car. You're not. Because in your mind, you've already given up. In your mind, you've already said, it ain't going to happen. So if that happens, it's not going to transpire into a unit for you. So I want you to think back how many times you had the payment issue where you didn't put your whole confidence into it and you didn't get the unit because maybe we have to look at ourselves sometimes. Does that make sense? You have to have that confidence, that belief within you of who you are. That way you can make it happen. Because they're buying you. And when you assume to sell, everything happens. Roman, if I have this pad and I let it go, what happens? Why?
Gravity.
What's gravity?
Gravity is a force gravity is just a force that pulls us down after.
Are you sure it'll fall?
Yeah.
You agree with them? You're right? So if I take this marker and I do the same thing, what's going to happen to it? But what is, anybody know what gravity is here? No? Andrew, if I let it go, will it fall? Why? For the gravity, right? So the reason I do this demonstration to get a visual in your mindset that gravity does not discriminate regardless of what the object is. But above that, gravity is what? Gravity is a law of the universe. This world we live in, there's laws. You have the law of gravity. You have the law of attraction. You have the law of expectations. You have principles. Everything governs this world. Right? That's why we're here. That's why we're not floating in the air. So write this down. The law of expectation says this. The law of expectation says 85%. Well, this marker doesn't want to work. 85, I want you to think about this. 85%. 85% of what Zachary expects will happen. 85% of what Richard expects will happen. 85% of what Andre expects will happen. And this is a problem. When we wake up in the morning, it's raining out there. What's the first thing we say, Roman? Oh man, it's going to be a bad day. It's raining. It's going to be slow. Or oh man, the weather's been ugly. Nobody's going to come in today. Or oh, this manager's working today. I really don't get along with this manager. I can't work the deals with them. It's going to be a bad day. So what are we expecting at that time? What are we expecting?
A shitty day.
A crappy day. True, right? True story, right? But remember, just the way I demonstrated, the law of gravity doesn't discriminate, neither does the law of expectation. So why not wake up every day instead of saying, I expect it to be slow, say, you know what? I expect to be busy today. I expect to sell a car today. I expect to have a great day today. That needs to be your mindset. That needs the whole. I'll tell you, I could come into dealership right now and I could sell 20 cars in a month. And I say that humbly because I know what it takes. I have the mindset what it takes to do it day in, day out. I can do it. There's people have emotions, people have needs and wants. The main thing is this. Richard, what do you say when a customer says, I feel like you're pressuring me right now? What's your response to that?
Oh, I guess I ask him what, exactly what's the pressure thing. Figure out exactly where they feel the pressure, like from the payment, pressure that you have to buy one a day. It's just different. You gotta feel the customer.
You know what, Andre? I'm feeling a little bit of pressure right now. I'm just going to go ahead and think about it. Go ahead and give me the keys for my trade-in. What are you going to say?
I ask them all the time, is it with me, was it the car, is it the price? What's making you want to hold back in this? Hit it with the 3 M's.
What about you, sir?
You bring a little pressure about what's their, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, you caught me off. I haven't had any coffee today, is what it is.
But, and I don't mean to be rude, but that's just a good example of when you're selling cars, when you're a sales professional, it's like Walt Disney World here. You're always on stage. You always have to be ready. It's like me, I'm a speaker. Somebody says, hey, you got 10 minutes, can you fill in on this gig? Sure, I'll do it. You always have to have your your skills, your mindset, yourself so sharp that you're ready to go at any second's notice. What if the customer's out there, hey, Andrew needs a turn? You can't be like, you got to be ready. But if you expect to succeed, guess what happens supernaturally? Supernaturally, those answers come to your brain because you're expecting to succeed 85% of the time. So a response to that, write this down because this is going to help you with a lot of customers, especially with Honda customers. Andre, I understand you're feeling pressure now, but please don't mistake me. Please don't mistake me for trying to help you as pressure. Here at Hill Country Honda, we try to help everybody, sir. Isn't that saying that you care for the customer? Danny, sir, please don't mistake me trying to help you as pressure. We try to help everybody here at Hill Country Honda, so please don't mistake that. I'm not here to sell you a car, sir. I'm here to help you with your wants and needs. Doesn't that sound... Andre, please forgive me for making you feel pressured, but here at Hill Country Honda, please don't mistake me trying to help you as pressure. We try to help all our customers here, sir. My job is not to sell you a vehicle, it's to help you with your wants and needs. That needs to be your attitude, because nowadays in this environment, in this society that we live in, everybody wants everything microwaved. Everybody wants everything yesterday. And what you want to do is, you want to make them feel special. You want to make them feel important. Who here has kids? Right? None?
No, sir.
No kids? So I'll talk on this side. But this is a true story. And you can take from this however you want to do it. I remember back a couple of years, we went and bought some furniture. We were looking for furniture, and we went to a couple of furniture stores. And the first furniture store we went to, we went inside, and a lady greeted us. And, you know, my son was young at the time, and, you know, he doesn't know any better. He was just, you know, my son's not a bad kid, but he just went on the bed and he laid down because we were looking at mattresses and thinking about getting a living room set. And the lady goes, oh, no, please don't let your son, she said, don't let your son get on the couch or something. And I disconnected right then and there. I said, you know what, ma'am, it's okay. I think we're just going to go somewhere else. No, I'm sorry, sir. Go. I go, no, it's okay. I said, I think we're going to continue shopping. We went to another store, more expensive store, let me add that. And I told my wife, you know what, let's just stop in there, you know, because we've been needing furniture because our furniture was already a little bit outdated. We walk in there, another female, she's like, hey, how y'all doing? Welcome. I said, oh, thank you. I go, now we're just going to look around. And she goes, well, what are y'all looking for? I go, you know what, we really don't know. We're just going to put in our feelers out there. And she goes, oh, okay, no problem at all. She goes, hey, do you mind if I get your son some cookies? I said, no, that'd be great. So she disappeared for like 2 or 3 minutes and came back with those animal cookies. She gave him a box of animal cookies, a little, like the circus ones. She gave him a little toy, some little cheap toy, but my son was happy, so who's happy? You're right, Zach, right? I'm happy. So I tell you this because it's not the big things that are going to make the customers fall in love with you. It's the fact that you actually care about the customer. I sensed at that moment that she really cared about me. She cared about the well-being about my son. That's the first store we went to. Granted, remember the furniture was cheaper, less expensive over there. Over here it was more expensive. You know, y'all have a benefit here. Not every single store in San Antonio and South Texas gives out water. Y'all have water here, right? Get one to the customer. Go out of your way and bring them too. Don't be lazy. If they're outside, let me go get your water. I'll be right back. Little things like that the customer's gonna appreciate that from you. So repeat after me. It's not the big things they look for. It's the little things. Say that. It's not the big things that customer appreciates. It's little things.
It's not the big things the customer appreciates.
That's what it is. They're buying you. You're the product that they're buying. They're buying your services. So next time a customer says, I'll be back, I'm just looking, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, maybe it's me that they're not satisfied with. Does that make sense? Right? What's another objection you have?
Pass.
Pass?
They have to talk to their spouse.
Say that again?
That they have to go home and talk to their spouse.
They have to talk to their spouse. Give me a scenario.
So, say husband comes in, test drives the car, everything, looks at the numbers, I'll have to go talk to my wife.
Okay. Is the trade here? The trade's not here.
Well,
Depends. So what do you do in that state? And that.
I usually ask them if they would like to take an extended test drive to the car to the wife.
Okay. So to answer her question, it could be a lot of different variables, but I'm going to give you one scenario. Zach, come be my guinea pig, please. Right? You stand this way. Well, stand. You know what? Get on this side. So, this might be one scenario for Michelle. So this is what happens. Who's heard of the guy that comes in during lunch? Michelle, you got 20 minutes. I want the best price on that car. And tell your manager, hurry up because my time's valuable. Who's heard that? Mm-hmm. Right? Okay. What type of personality is that? It's a driver personality. Not enough. It's a driver personality. So I'm going to give you this tip, right? When a driver comes in, he does that handshake. Did y'all see that? I didn't see that? He comes in. Who's seen that handshake before? You can have a seat, Zach. Thank you, sir. Grand prize goes to Zach. Yeah. But that's a driver personality. So you got to learn how to sell that personality. So with the driver, there's not a lot of things you can do because if he comes in during lunch and says, hey, I got 5-10 minutes, go tell your manager I want the best price on that used car and hurry up. There is ways. So with the driver like that, two things, right, that I can tell you. He's fast-paced, so right away you got to catch him off guard and just give him a compliment. Right? I'm a watch person, so I'm like, oh, by the way, Zach, that's a really nice watch. They don't expect that. Or they're trading, they're coming in, right? They have a trade-in. Oh, by the way, that's a nice truck. Is that the vehicle that you're going to trade in? Or I like the wheels. Give them a sincere compliment. And when you give them that compliment, you catch them off guard because they're so focused on price, that they don't expect that from you. Does that make sense? And with drivers, that's just the way a driver personality is. They're fast-paced, but when you try to find a way to give them a sincere compliment, and a lot of times that catches them off guard, and they'll be open to hear what you're going to say with the driver. So when next time you have the guy that comes in during lunchtime, you know what to say. So let's recap. What's the takeaway you learned today, Roman?
Selling the transfer of trust.
Setting the transfer of trust. That's a big one, right? Because they're buying what? They're buying you. What did you learn today, Danny?
Assume every sale.
Assume every sale. Let's not make the decisions for the customers. Let's not make the decisions for the customers. If you assume every sale, everything will fall in place. Richard, what's your takeaway you learned today, sir?
Today I learned that you worked with David for a lot of years. Yeah, just more of the benefits. You know, I'm guilty of not blowing through the addendum and not really going to like each feature benefit. I'm gonna slow down there and explain it because I worked at Inserra and I know all about the APP, and I used to sell it all the time just because I knew the benefit was I would make cash in hand when I sold it. And so I pushed it harder. Here, we don't get anything off of it, so it's like, yeah, we'll just knock it off when we get to the pencil. But I mean, I understand the gross and stuff, but yeah, we break it down each one, and I'll have an easier time selling it at the first pencil.
Yeah. Andre, what's your takeaway?
Just 85% expectation. Having expectation there is go through the way you want to.
You know, I use that, what Andre said was the law of expectation. I use that in every area of my life. Just think about it. To the good or to the bad, whatever you expect in your life, whether it's in your finances, your relationship, your marriage, work, friends, you're going to get. 85%, it's a law of the universe. It's a law, look it up.
The secret.
It's a law. 85%, that's better odds than the lottery. And you as an individual, you as a human being have the power to dictate what to expect in your life. So if you don't have the units that you want, if you're not where you want to be, if you had a bad month last month, if you're having a bad month this month, it's not your manager's fault. It's not your coworker's fault. It's not that Michelle gets on your nerves or Andre gets on your nerves or this new guy is driving me crazy. That's what you're expecting, so that's what you're going to receive. Does that make sense? So, in closing with this, I want you to always believe in yourself, always have confidence in who you are. And the more you believe in who you are as an individual, as a person, the more as you value yourself. Because if you value yourself here on a scale of 1 to 10, if you value yourself as a 2, well, your business is never going to go above a 2. If you value yourself as a 6, you're never going to go above a 6. Because you're your own lid of your own business. So value yourself more. And it doesn't matter what your friends say, it doesn't matter what your husband says, your wife says, your best friend says. This is you, this is your life. You're not a salesperson. What I see in front of me is sales professionals. You are professionals. And you have more value than what you realize, not just in this profession, but in your life and in this world. So value yourself more. Can you do that? Thank you, guys.